found some shoes. Maybe I can wear these shoes. You think I can wear these shoes? No, why not?
Highlands, guests can enjoy the many restaurants, retail stores, entertainment, and lodging options. To check out everything the Highlands Event Center has to offer, head to thehighlandseventcenter.com or call 833-639-7070.
Live and local conversation for the Ohio Valley continues shortly, here on the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe.
A serious injury from an accident can be just the start of your worries. What if you cannot return to work? How do you take care of your family if you're disabled? At Gellner Law Offices, we represent seriously injured people and understand their problem. We know how to get you fair compensation. We will work hard to make sure you get the money you deserve for your losses. Don't go it alone. If you're hurt in an accident, call us at 304-242-2900 or visit us at GellnerLaw.com.
We'd like to help.
The end of summer event is on at your Toyota dealer, meaning right now is the best time to save big on the car, truck, or SUV you've been dreaming of, like an off-road ready 4Runner or a rugged Tacoma, both available with $1,000 cash back. Or go in an adventurous RAV4, the best-selling SUV in America, and get $1,500 cash back. Take $1,500 back on a stylish Corolla, or $2,000 back on a sporty new Camry, or get $2,500 cash back on the rugged half-ton Tundra. You can even drive away in a spacious Highlander with enough room for the whole family right now with $1,000 cash back, plus $500 bonus cash from Toyota. Shop for more great savings at Toyota's official website for deals. BuyAToyota.com. You can take cash back or apply toward down payment. Bonus cash must be applied toward down payment. Some offers may exclude CRD Pro models. See your dealer for details. The end of summer event is on at Toyota. So go see your dealer today. Offers end August 31st. Toyota.
Oh, there's something so real about living local. And I know without a doubt I'm not alone. And I love living local. There's nowhere else I'd rather be. Say I love living local. WTRF is working for me. The Ohio Valley is where I love to be.
Hello, I'm Ruling Fire Chief Larry Helms. As our city and region get back to business, it's extremely important to continue the following specific health guidelines to stop the spread of COVID-19. This virus is highly contagious and is more deadly than the flu. Please wear a mask or face covering in public, wash your hands more often, socially distance yourself as much as possible, and by following these guidelines, it potentially could save your life.
They're back. Major League Baseball, the NBA, Stanley Cup playoffs. Yeah, it's a good time to have some fun. And when I think of fun, I think of FanDuel Sportsbook. That's right, they're back. They're America's #1 sportsbook app. Check them out. Here's why they're #1. The app is super easy to use. I can use it. Whether you're a seasoned bettor or just brand new to wagering, you'll find what you're looking for in just a few taps. And this is what I like about FanDuel. They pay out in as little as 24 hours. And what if you lose? Best of all, FanDuel Sportsbook will let you place your first bet risk-free. Just place any bet you want and get up to $500 back if you don't win. So everybody wins. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app to get started. Be sure you sign up with promo code WKKX so they know that we sent you.
I'm Josh from Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration. I hope you are staying healthy. We continue to respond to structural, fire, and water emergencies. We are combating COVID-19 with our highly trained staff and latest disinfection systems, providing preventative and reactive disinfection to facilities around the region, while working with area hospitals on isolation areas and air filtering. At Panhandle, we continue to follow social distancing and hygiene protocols. We are dedicated to our community, and together, we will get through this.
The United Way of the Upper Ohio Valley is very proud of those that have jumped into action, helping the community through the restrictions in place due to COVID-19. All year long, we connect community-minded businesses and people to agencies serving the toughest needs. Now we have a Community Response and Recovery Fund to assist agencies in helping families in crisis due to this pandemic. 100% of your donations will stay local. You can donate at unitedwayuov.org/give.
The Highlands Event Center is the area's premier destination for conferences, workshops, employment fairs, weddings, and more. With 4,000 square feet of space, the Highland Event Center can accommodate events large and small. Situated in the heart of the Highlands, guests can enjoy the many restaurants, retail stores, entertainment, and lodging options. To check out everything the Highlands Event Center has to offer, head to thehighlandseventcenter.com or call 833-639-7070.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster. With a look at your local weather forecast for your start to the work week, partly cloudy skies this afternoon. The daytime high near 87 degrees. Overnight low of 70 degrees. Under partly cloudy skies, a widely scattered shower. Mostly sunny for your Tuesday, with highs in the lower 90s. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
Wake up, wake up, wake up! Huh? Rise and shine! What? You give me one good reason.
It's National Waffle Day.
Ooh, waffles! Yeah! Waffles!
I want waffles.
Waffles! Buy waffles! Waffles!
Having some waffles, are you?
Waffles.
Yeah! Waffle time, it's waffle time!
You forgot one thing.
Yeah, what's that?
Oh, the syrup.
Yeah!
Happy National Waffle Day.
All right, kids, it's showtime.
On air, online, on demand, and on video. This is the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe.
Waffles. I like the sound of that. Yeah, I think I could have some waffles this morning. Oh, you know what else I could have, Biff?
Sausage, gravy, and biscuits?
Yeah, I can have a shot at that because I actually ordered the big family size over the weekend, so I still have a little bit of it left for this morning. So that's a possibility. What's coming up today on the Watchdog Morning Show? More reaction to the Bishop Bransfield apology and the making of amends. Intel did an article about what the faithful thought as they talked to them at Mass this week, and I'll share some of that with you. Big parade supporting Trump rolled through Eastern Ohio this weekend, and we looked at some of the latest numbers on the presidential race in the Buckeye State. Trump's got a lot of problems, but again, look at this big parade that came through Eastern Ohio this weekend. 300 are the number of cars that are claimed to have been involved there. I have no reason to doubt that. So a lot of support for Trump in Eastern Ohio. Republican convention begins today. We'll take a look at that. Postmaster General appears before the Congressional Committee today. That'll be covered by ABC News in depth throughout the weekend. Also, in the past hour, we spent a lot of time talking about getting back to school. Hundreds of teachers in West Virginia, teachers and parents and so on, but hundreds of communications were sent to the state school board about getting back to school. Brad McElhaney has a piece about that. You can check it out at wvmetronews.com. We also talked about it in the last hour of the show. I revisited the Wheeling Park High School Faculty Senate vote of last week because after looking at editorial in the paper over the weekend, I thought that the paper had just somewhat misconstrued the numbers, and I wanted to share some of the real ones with you. Marshall County's AFT president, Josh Gary, was with us to talk about going back to school in Marshall County. He also is a candidate for the state Senate, so we talked about that as he prepares to head back to the classroom tomorrow, as Marshall County students do. And we'll talk about in a minute or two, we'll talk about what is the attendance policy going to be like at sports stadiums in West Virginia in this COVID year. That's all coming up here on the Watchdog Morning Show. Pretty nice looking outside still. Sun is up, clouds up, patchy fog floating around a smidgen, and clouds are expected to build during the day today. It's going to be hot, going to be muggy, 86 or so, the predicted high. Showers, rumbles of thunder coming in later this afternoon. Currently 73 degrees at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport, 70 degrees here at my home studio in the Elm Grove section of Wheeling, and 70 degrees at the Robinson Auto Group Studios downtown Wheeling in the heart of the Ohio Valley. And I got a lot I want to get to, so stick around. I will get to it. And then stick around when I am done today, because coming up today at 10 on Statewide Talk Line with Hoppy Kercheval, State School Superintendent Clayton Birch will be on hand to talk about the restarting of school and answer some of Hoppy's probing questions again, plus going through the map as it stands as of right now. Brad McElhenney will continue his conversation with Hoppy that he continued with, we started with us last hour about the letters that are being sent, proposed, talking about the beginning of the school year. Also, folks from Metro News Sports will be on to talk about the high school sports attendance policy. And in West Virginia, an additional $400 in unemployment benefits coming. How do you get that money? The acting director of Workforce West Virginia will be on hand with Hoppy coming up today. That's just part of what you've got on Statewide Talk Line today at 10. Then, of course, at noon, the Big 7. We head over to the Big 7 news desk for all your midday headlines. Don't forget to check the news from 10 to 7 right here on the radio. And then Bill DeFabio's variety show starts, and Billy will be, well, entertaining you. Somehow. Some way. Doing something. From noon until 2. Bill DeFabio Variety Show. And then this afternoon, it is the afternoon drive. Butch Maxwell is back this afternoon, the afternoon drive here on the Watchdog. Among guests, Sean Kaur of the Health Right Group will be on. Also, folks from the YWCA. Butch and Lola will discuss the political conventions, plasma treatments for COVID-19, the post office, QAnon, which Brother Biff learned a bit about in the Watchdogs recently. What is QAnon and why does the president not distance himself from these goofs? Oh, I have the answer. Because he's a goof. I'm sorry. I shouldn't say that. That'll be coming up today on the afternoon drive. Butch Maxwell in today from 2 until 5 o'clock. And, of course, you can catch it on Facebook Live and on our YouTube channels as well. So that's a bit of what we have for you coming up this morning here, coming up all day long today here on the Watchdog. So, Biffy, I guess no fans in the stands basically for high school sports this year, right, in West Virginia?
Well, unless you're, depending on what the state is, because they have different attendance if you're green as opposed to if you are yellow. If you are green, it is immediate household. If it is yellow, it is just the parents and coaches, spouses only.
Yeah, so parents and guardians. So again, this goes back to that color-coded map, which the governor is always changing. But you look at the color-coded map, and if it is green, if your county is, we're yellow, right? Are we not? Are we still yellow? I think
we're still yellow, but I mean, just the way the governor is doing this to manipulate the numbers and everything, it's ridiculous.
It is. I mean, and there's no question he's doing it to manipulate the numbers.
We shouldn't be yellow. We should be a green. We should be a green county, not a yellow county. Come on.
Well, if you are green, as Biff said, for high school sports this year, football we're talking primarily, but really other activities, including extracurricular activities, I guess like bands and so on, athletic and other extracurricular activities. If you are green, the immediate household members can attend. So the players, parents, I'm not sure what they identify that as. I assume that's parents, siblings, grandparents maybe. Immediate household family members, if you are green, can attend. But once you drop into the yellow category, according to Bernie Dolan last week, then it is only parents or guardians, all right? No brothers, no sisters, no grandmas, what have you. If you drop down to the orange level, which I don't think we'll ever do, but elsewhere in the state, if you drop down to the orange, and this, has some bearing on things for us if we travel different places too, Biffy. If you go to an orange county, athletic and extracurricular activities are limited to controlled practices and activities only. And of course, if you're in the red category, oh, bad news. I think Logan County is the only red one we have.
Yeah, if the
I don't have that map in front of me, but I think it's Logan County.
yeah, I think when I looked at the map Saturday, Logan was still red, and I believe there was one county that was orange, and that was it. The rest of the state was green and yellow mixed.
All right. Now, let's be very clear. Who knows what kind of changes the governor will make. He made changes as recently as, let me see here, was this Friday? 21st, when was that?
Yeah, 21st was Friday.
Yeah. The governor on Friday announced changes again to the color-coded map. Counties, and this, actually, there's some validity to this. Counties under 16,000 in population will be assessed on a 14-day rolling average. Counties above 16,000, a 7-day rolling average. The 7-day average is a lot better, but I do get the argument that when you have a fairly small county, a 7-day average may not be a good picture there. So the governor, but that change came on Friday. Let's see, I think there was one other change. Of course, he still has been talking about whether or not people in jails or in prisons will be, jails, prisons, or nursing homes are going to be counted as just one incident. If everybody in if there are a couple of cases in a nursing home, should that only count as one because they're a contained group of people? Now, I saw an interesting piece this weekend that made a point. We tend to think of nursing homes, Biffy, as a place where people go to live and, sadly, sometimes to die. But the reality is a lot of people do go into a nursing home. They're there for a period of time. They go through rehab or something, and they get out again. So maybe that's not, maybe I get the concept. I get the idea. No matter how many people in a nursing home or in a jail have COVID, if it's a contained population, if there are 22 people in the jail that have it, it isn't the same as 22 people out in the community. I get that argument, and I think there's some validity to that. On the other hand, the truth of the matter, especially in jails, why people go to jail, they bond in, they bond out, they're out for a while, they're sent back. There's a lot of movement in and out. So anyway, that's one of the things that they're talking about doing. The point of all of this just is, as you point out, Biff, that it seems like the governor is perpetually changing. Who knows? He's got a press conference again today. Who knows? Who knows what'll happen today?
I just hope he says after he gets done with the numbers and everything, he says, "Hey, we're still on for if you play this week, opening week, the teams that scheduled for this week, they can still play." Hopefully that happens. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see what the governor says because, quite frankly, anymore, I don't know what he's going to say. I don't.
Hey, Biff, don't worry about it. He doesn't know what he's going to say.
He may make something up on the fly today. Who knows?
Listen, I've said that all along. I'm not saying everything. I'm not saying all the time. But I have seen occasions where I can see it in his eyes in the press conferences. He's going, and so, I think I'm going to make a change. You can see it in his eyes sometimes. So we'll see what he has to say today. But anyway, in terms of high school sports and other extracurricular activities for the fall, there will be no such thing as a student section. There will be no such thing as a packed stadium. The best that we're going to have, the best we have, is if you're a green county, and most counties are green, you will be able to have the players can have their parents and their guardians and brothers and sisters and family members can attend. And at least that's good. But if you're one of those folks that likes to just pick a game and go on a Friday night, Biffy, and a lot of people around here do that, you know as well as I do. There are a lot of people who just say, hey, where will I go this weekend? What game will I watch? Not going to happen.
Well, unless, I saw a picture last week of this. I don't know where the field was or what the game, but it was I would imagine, a high school football game, and the section only had about, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 rows of bleachers, but it was in a neighborhood. So behind the field, there were houses. So it showed like there may have been, I don't know, 30, 35 people in the stands. But when it showed in the background on the house, there were 2 guys sitting on the roof watching the game. and a place in West Virginia that comes to mind, if you haven't been there, is our friends, and I say that jokingly, our friends from Williamstown, where they're located. Their field is actually right across. It's the same thing. There's a row of houses that are there. So I can imagine if Williamstown is playing a home game and they're in that yellow, don't be surprised if there are people up on the roof watching games in Williamstown and communities that are like that have that opportunity.
I think it was Steve from St. C who posted over the weekend that when Central plays, when an out-of-town team comes to play Central, the Spring Hill Suites may be packed.
Yeah, I think
up on top of the hill, you might see a lot of people there with binoculars checking out the game. That's a possibility too. But in the stands themselves, the best you will have are family members, and the worst you'll have is, again, if you're in a yellow category, just parents. And it's not, at least parents get to watch their kids play. But hey, Biffy, I know, just like the pros, the student athletes will get used to it, but the sound of the crowd on a Friday night helps the teams, right? I mean, just makes you feel more excited about it.
The perfect example is, again, having lived on Wheeling Island most of my life, and back when I was a little one running around, and Wheeling Central would play at the stadium on a Saturday night, and Wheeling Park would play on a Friday night. Well, where we live, I could open my back window because it actually faces the stadium. So I could open my window and actually hear Dave Flatley, the play-by-play guy or the announcer for Wheeling Park. I could actually hear him from the stadium calling the game. So I would open my window on Friday nights and just listen to the sounds from the stadium when Central would play on Saturday, and it was it's kind of how I grew up, and it was neat listening to.
Well, there won't be a lot of sounds from the stadium coming this year, unfortunately. But again, at least, I don't criticize that. I get this is the way it has to be. But then, things get complicated. For example, Bernie Dolan said, well, we'll have to do a case-by-case. What about parents who are divorced? Okay? Or divorced and remarried? So you're allowed to have parents and guardians, but what if your parents have divorced and so mom and dad now have a new spouse? Do they all get to come in? And how does that work? Bernie Dolan says that'll all be handled on a case-by-case basis. I'm not making fun of Bernie. Bernie's going, I don't know. You guys figure that out. I don't know.
Hey, leave it up to them. Leave it up to them. Don't come yelling at me.
You figure that out. Family units will be allowed to sit together in the stadium. So if it's, again, mom and dad, and if it's in a green category where maybe you've got brothers and sisters and aunts, uncles, or what, I don't know how far the family household members will extend, but if you've got a family unit, you'll be allowed to sit together at a game. However, if your best friend's family is also there, your family has to be separated from their family. There's got to be social distancing guidelines, and everybody still has to wear a mask at the stadium as well. So if you want to take a look at these guidelines, by the way, you go to online, let me find it. It's WVDE, Washington Department of Education, WVDE/reentry matrix. WVDE.us, that's the overarching website. And again, this stands for West Virginia Department of Education. WVDE.us/ Re-entry metrics, all one word. Or go to wvde.us, and I'm sure you can search around and find it as well. And they've got a nice little graph. It's easy to understand graphic. They've got a nice little easy to understand graphic that you can use. Green, yellow, orange, and red. The rainbow colors at the end of the rainbow, Hoppy. There won't be anybody in the stadium.
We have a map at the end of that rainbow.
At the end of the rainbow is the stadium, and nobody's going to be in it. All you can do is joke about it a little bit. I think it's fair. I think it's reasonable. I think it is necessary. As I have been saying all morning long, with getting back to classrooms, and getting back to sports as well, there is no good answer. There is no perfect solution. We have to deal with what we have to deal with.
At least it's something.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, safety is number one. Public health and safety is number one. Certainty, in my mind, is number two. And that's what we have here, is at least we have an attempt at certainty with these color codings, and then you can figure out where you are and what you're supposed to do. That is an attempt, at least, at certainty. And I think that's fairly important as well. But
and I wouldn't be
there's no easy answer. There's no easy answer.
I wouldn't be surprised too, Howard, if the head coaches in West Virginia, if they haven't given the players a sheet with those guidelines and say, hey, take these home to your parents, have them make a couple copies to give to grandma and grandpa and whoever else, and so they'll have them as well. I won't be surprised if that's happened.
Coming up, I want to talk a little bit about an article in the paper talking to the faithful, the Catholic faithful who attended Mass this weekend, about how they respond to the Bishop Bransfield apology and the amends that he is now being required to make. And the short answer is most of the people who answered the newspaper's questions do not think it's adequate. But some of them are saying, look, let's just move on and put this behind us and move on. I'll share with you some of what the paper has in terms of comments in a minute or two. And it was asked of me over the weekend what I knew about a new restaurant that has a website but no information on it. It doesn't have any address. It doesn't have any phone number. Doesn't have any contact information. Doesn't have any people attached to it. And a lot of folks were going, something's not right about this. And so I did a little digging, did a little checking into things, and I learned a little bit about that. And I will share it with you. Coming up on the Watchdog Morning Show. But first, why don't I share with you the Ohio Valley headlines from Metro News.
The Metro News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
I'm sorry, where are you calling from? Probably sometime after 10:30. Probably, yes.
Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
Managing your business can be a minefield. One step in the wrong direction, and it can feel like everything you've worked for is at risk. I always had a vision of building a team, a crew of true professionals that could handle it all, tax, insurance, and investments. Big enough to partner with Encova, but personal enough to protect your interests on the home front. I'm Gary, and this is the Glessner Group.
The Highlands Event Center is the area's premier destination for conferences, workshops, employment fairs, weddings, and more. With 4,000 square feet of space, the Highland Event Center can accommodate events large and small. Situated in the heart of the Highlands, guests can enjoy the many restaurants, retail stores, entertainment, and lodging options. To check out everything the Highlands Event Center has to offer, head to thehighlandseventcenter.com or call 833-639-7070.
A serious injury from an accident can be just the start of your worries. What if you cannot return to work? How do you take care of your family if you're disabled? At Gellner Law Offices, we represent seriously injured people and understand their problem. We know how to get you fair compensation. We will work hard to make sure you get the money you deserve for your losses. Don't go it alone. If you're hurt in an accident, call us at 304-242-2900 or visit us at GellnerLaw.com.
We'd like to help.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster. With a look at your local weather forecast for your start to the work week. Partly cloudy skies this afternoon. A daytime high near 87 degrees. Overnight low of 70 degrees. Under partly cloudy skies, a widely scattered shower. Mostly sunny for your Tuesday, with highs in the lower 90s. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
Thank you, Ohio Valley, for making the morning show with Howard Monroe the #1 listened to broadcast in the tri-state area. Catch Howard, Biff and Company weekdays 7 to 10 a.m. only on the Watchdog.
It's your turn to talk. From politics to pet peeves, get it off your chest and on the air. The Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues.
I had been recommending to you to check out the West Virginia Department of Education's website, where they have the school reentry metrics and protocols posted, including a look at what's going to happen as far as school stadiums go, sports stadiums go, and so on. I should point out it also has the general guidelines for green, yellow, orange, and red. For example, yellow, which Ohio County apparently is in, 3.1 to 9.9 cases per 100,000 people. Require face coverings for grades 3 to 5 on buses and in congregate settings where social distancing cannot be maintained. We require face coverings for grades 6 and above at all times. Increase student cohorting by limiting exposure outside of core groups. Keep the kids together, in other words. No assemblies or activities where social distancing is not possible. Local education leaders work with county health officials to determine if increased mitigation and community engagement activities are necessary to prevent escalation of disease. And athletic and extracurricular activities permit parents and guardians only. That is Ohio County. Green, which would be Marshall County, for example, continue best health practices, require face coverings for grades 3 to 5, for grades 3 and above on buses, limit activities where social distancing not feasible, engage the community to actively participate in continued mitigation. And again, if you want to read all this, and it'd be good for you to do it as a parent, check it out, wvde.us/reentry matrix, and it gives you all that information. Off the text line, my personal text line, Howard, so you're telling me you agree with Biff that Ohio County should be green, not yellow? What I agree is that I think the guidelines are still a little bit confusing. I don't know if we should be green, if we should be yellow. I just think that it's really, these guidelines are all thoroughly confusing.
I don't understand how one day we're green and then like the next or 2 days later, all of a sudden we're yellow.
Well, I mean, that's because they changed, because the testing results come back and
But I mean,
the number of cases. The problem is that's going to change every day. So what do you do? What they've done, is, if I understand it correctly, is they're going to rely on the numbers as of a Saturday night. So Saturday night, you check your color coding. That color coding will stay with you. Your county will stay that way throughout the next week. I think that's the way they're going to do it.
I just wish what they would have done is not come out with the first map yet if they were going to change.
Yeah, well, again, they came out with the map before they even had any metrics.
Right. I mean,
what they're going to do.
Why do that if wait until, and again, this goes back to leadership. Have something planned, get it done, and then instead of whatever day that was, whether it was a Thursday or a Friday, the first map came out, hold off on the map until that Saturday, and then put the map out.
Right.
Don't just all of a sudden, okay, on a just for the heck of it, we're going to do it this way, and then the next day we're going to do it this way or that way. Pick something and stick with it.
I'm checking my note, tweet here. The color coding stays starting Saturday for the week, unless a county turns red. Okay. If it turns red during the week, they shut it down immediately. Okay. But basically what you get on Saturday is what you live with through the week. And of course, look, the governor has said he'll make a decision on the actual start of school September 1st. I mean, we've got it set for September 8th. But he says he'll make a decision on that actually on September the 1st. So I wouldn't be totally surprised if he doesn't change his mind.
Yeah.
I'm not predicting that. I've been predicting it before. I'm not so sure I'm going to predict it any further, but I wouldn't be totally surprised if he doesn't change his mind.
And if he does, we'll hear about it on the 2nd.
Because yeah, exactly. Well, yes, what he'll do on the 1st is go, well, now, I think there are a lot of things out here we need to be concerned about. I'm not too sure about all these numbers just yet. So I think maybe we should make some changes tomorrow.
And we'll get the alert press conference at noon, 12:31, whatever time he gets out of Bob Evans, and away we'll go.
And away we'll go, because that's the way that's how he rolls. I think it's very critical and important that we take a look at this and probably need to make some changes. And I think I'll tell you tomorrow.
Or he'll wait and see what DeWine does and then make his decision after that.
Yeah. Well, there is that. There is that as well. Hey, before I get too much further, I want to remind you that the NBA playoffs are here, and FanDuel Sportsbook has that slam dunk offer that you can't refuse. My little clever line there, the slam dunk, because it's NBA. Right now, new users get special odds on any team making the NBA Finals. Pick any team, any team to make the NBA Finals. Then bet $10 for your chance to win $200 if they make it. And whether you're picking the favorites like the Bucks or the Lakers, you want to go for long shots, whatever you think is likely to be, whoever you think is likely to be in the NBA Finals, the ball is in your court, as they say, to make your predictions. And Biffy, I know you've had a couple of thoughts on who you think is likely to be, who will. Biff, who do you think will be in the Finals?
I still think in the East you have to look at Milwaukee as a favorite, and in the West, I'm still going to go with the Lakers, and we'll see what happens. And again, maybe there's always that one team that'll surprise you, so we'll see who that is.
And there's always a surprise that pops out somewhere. If you think you know what the surprise might be, put your money down. $10 can get you $200 if it's your first bet under the FanDuel deal that we're offering for you here on the Watchdog Morning Show. So you pick whoever you think will be in the finals. If you pick correctly, you'll win, and FanDuel will get you your payout in as little as 24 hours. Now, FanDuel has a variety of reasons why they become the number one sports book around. Number one, perhaps, is they get the money to you fast. Because, after all, isn't that really what it's all about? It's all about getting the cashola. But also, it's very easy to use. A lot of folks are really unsure what to do. I know a lot of people who want to try and, put a little skin in the game, as I say, have a little fun with this, but are nervous about using an app, not sure how to do it. FanDuel is pretty intuitive. When you download it and play around with it a little bit, and they've got drop-down menus that should make it pretty easy for you. It shouldn't take you too long to figure out how to navigate it. So pay out quickly. Easy to use, a variety of deposit options, and all different kinds of bets. As I mentioned earlier, I've got this sheet over here that I got a copy of from FanDuel with all of them, not all of, but many of the really interesting, I'm sure, bets that you can make. If I could just read it. But the eyes don't work so good. They get little tiny, itty bitty print, like little tiny, it's like this small. And I can't read it. I can kind of sort of see, as I mentioned, the Denver Drought Bonus. Place a $255 or more wager on the Denver Broncos to make the playoffs and get a bonus. I don't know. I can't read this. I'm not going to try. I don't want to give you bad information. I wish I could read it, but I just can't. Major League Baseball run bonus. National Hockey League first period insurance, weekly football win bonus, FanDuel tennis tournament promotions as well. Again, I can't read them. I'm sorry. But one of the reasons why FanDuel is successful is because they have all different kinds of promotions. So, you don't just have to bet for a winner, or you can play around, have some fun. They do prop bets as well. So the bottom line is, if you want to have a little fun at the gaming, FanDuel is a good sportsbook app to use. You download this FanDuel Sportsbook app to get started. Sign up with the promo code Monroe. That's my name. That way they know that I sent you. FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code Monroe is what you want to use. Now, I need to tell you that you must be 21 or present in West Virginia. New users only. You must wager on a designated boost market. The maximum bonus is $200. For more terms and conditions, check out sportsbook.fanduel.com. And as always, while the vast majority of y'all will be having fun with this and play a little, you gamble a little bit, whether you go to the casino, either play the doggies. I don't know whether you go to Guido's back room, but I don't know that we have that anymore so much. Or if you use one of the apps. You do it for fun, and that's what most people do. If you cannot have fun with gaming, and many people can, if you're among those who cannot have fun with gaming, then for heaven's sakes, you probably need help. Gambling addiction is a serious problem. And while I promote FanDuel, and they're one of our fine sponsors, and I encourage you to take advantage of them if you can, I also want to point out that if you do have a gambling problem, for heaven's sakes, get yourself help. I've seen too many people lose all they have in life, including their spouses sometimes. So by all means, if you have a problem, you know what you do? 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-GAMBLER, or www.1800gambler.net. FanDuel Sportsbook, more ways to win. You're always a winner when you check in with the Big Seven, because they provide Ohio Valley news throughout the day and bring it to you in a quick, concise, and well-informed style. Bob Westfall makes sure that it all happens. He's with us this morning. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning, Howard. How was your weekend?
It was good. Nothing overly exciting, but it was kind of fun. Played with the grandkid. Had some good food. Went to Melman's Cafeteria for takeout food.
Sounds like fun.
Can't do better than Melman's in my... Yeah, it was all in all good. How about yours?
Mine was uneventful, which I generally kind of like.
Yes. Believe me, the uneventful weekends are anything uneventful these days is definitely good. Are you event filled over at the Big 7 today?
Well, we're working on, obviously, it's that time of the year. A lot of people, a lot of universities, a lot of colleges, a lot of schools are going back to school. West Liberty is back in their seats today after 1 week of online learning while the testing was going on. So we're going to head up to the campus, talk to the students, see what's going on, see how this year is different, obviously, than in years past. Also going to check out how they're dealing with off-campus housing. I know we've seen some other of the bigger universities across the country. They are having issues with off-campus housing and social distancing and things like that. So we're going to see what West Liberty has in the plans to deal with to help their off-campus housing. Other things.
One of the things I want to know, and this is not the same kind of off-campus housing you're talking about, but one of the things I want to know is, how do you get the Ogilvy Resort package if you're a student at West Liberty? You can stay in the dorm room, or you can stay at Ogilvy. May I volunteer for the stay at Ogilvy part? Can I?
Maybe you get the senior discount too.
Well, gee, thanks, Bob.
Always thinking, Bob. Always thinking.
I'm looking through my notes here. There were a couple of West Liberty positives in the last report, were there not, from the health department?
Yes.
Some of the testing that was done up there. I don't have it in front of me. I'm looking for it and I can't find it real quick. Maybe you remember it better than I do.
I believe the last one did say there were a couple positives from the university testing. 5 positives from the higher education testing of 4 deaths. Deaths are separate. Now that would probably include West Liberty and Wheeling University.
And Wheeling University, yeah. Okay. All right. So a total of 5 there, and they're testing everybody at both of those universities, right?
Right. And I do believe Bethany College had a couple positives as well. Just let me check real quick. See our results.
I know it's now.
Yeah, so I think
total cases in Ohio County right now 269, if I'm looking at my notes correctly.
All right. So anyway, we're going to check on what West Liberty's doing to try and keep safe. We talked to Wheeling University last week. West Virginia Northern's back to school today, so we're going to go check that out as well. Also, going to get an update on the Wheeling Park Ice Rink. As you know, it's going through a couple $1 million in renovations. So we're going to go down, check out, see how it's going, and see how that project's going. That's huge. I know. I don't think it'd be an overstatement to say thousands of kids use that rink every year. So.
Oh no, that's not an overstatement at all. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to find out what's going on with that, where that's at. Of course, our high school football previews continue. We've got Cameron Valley and Magnolia today. So we've got the southern tier, if you will, in high school football. And then, of course, Dr. Dave and Zach will be watching the weather as it rolls in today. I know it's a little humid out there now. I think Zach was talking about spotty showers this afternoon. But we'll have all that information here on our app and on our air. So those are some of the things we're working on today.
Yeah, the weather, it's just typical end of summer weather. We're looking for maybe some storms, maybe some showers, hot and muggy. It's just I can't believe though that we're in the last week of August. This is the official last full week of August. Holy crap, where did it go?
Yeah, I think we need a mulligan on 2020. I think it just zipped by. It's one of those weird things where it just seems like it trudges on, but then all of a sudden it's September. So I don't know. I don't know where it went.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I don't drink much anymore, but I think come New Year's Eve, I'm going to drink a really big toast to kicking this thing in its ass and saying goodbye.
Yeah, it'll be nice to see this year kind of disappear.
I agree. All right, Bob, people can check things out at noon. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm not generally a person who likes to wish away part of their life, but this year could be over. Can't be over soon enough.
I'm with you. People can check things out at noon, 5, 6, 10, and 11, 5:30 statewide show. Mark Curtis back, or is he still on vacation this week?
Mark should be back today.
All right, so Mark Curtis back after his vacay. Did a lot of golfing, I noticed. Boy, he's become a golfer.
Yeah, he has.
I don't know if he always golfed, but he's golfing a lot these days.
Well, you got the time, I guess.
I guess so. So check that out. And, of course, most importantly, everything can be found at WTRF.com. News as it breaks, news in detail. You can catch it all, as I do, all throughout the day. It's where I go frequently to check up on what's happening. WTRF.com. Bob, appreciate your time this morning. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.
All right. Thanks, guys. Talk to you tomorrow.
All right. Thanks a lot. And let's see. That's pretty much it. Tomorrow, among other things, what's Stephen Smith up to? Stephen Smith is the candidate who ran West Virginia Can't Wait against Ben Salango for the Democratic nomination for governor. Stephen Smith lost that nomination, barely, but he lost it. What's he been up to? And what he's been up to, I guess, is really working with some of the other West Virginia Can't Wait candidates who did win in their primaries. So we'll talk to Stephen tomorrow on the show. I did not get to the restaurant I wanted to talk about. I will do that tomorrow. A restaurant that has a website up that has no information on it, and people were kind of curious about what is this all about. Is this a real thing? Is it a scam? Is it something weird? And I did some digging, and I got some information for you. I guess I'll share that with you tomorrow. And also, if I have time, we'll go to some of the comments made to the newspaper about Bishop Bransfield's apology and the amends. I've got that, and who knows what else is liable to happen. Here's what I know for sure. I don't know what's going to happen. We'll get together in the morning. For now, though, I got to say sayonara, see you, bye-bye, farewell. I got to go. I got to get out of here. Kercheval has the calm coming up next. As for me, good Lord willing, creeks don't rise, backbone doesn't ring, I don't get impeached, I don't retire, ticker keeps on ticking, I don't overeat, and most importantly, Teddy says, it's okay, you can go back to work tomorrow, Granddad. Then I shall return tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock, another go-around of the big gig. Are you back with me, Biffy?
I will join you for Tuesday.
We're going to keep on doing it till we get it right.
That could be a long time.
Sweet Jesus, yes.
No, I can't let you go, but it's time for me to blow.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
From ABC News.
All right, we made it through. Yep, barely, but we did it. We made it. So, I have a couple of things already scheduled for tomorrow, so I'll get into this stuff tomorrow. I'll probably send you a promo since I got a few things I know what's going on. I got some stuff to work on today. We were off 1370 for a short while, but I fixed it, but I don't know why it was broken, so I gotta look into that. The good news is at least this new company we're working with, this new tech company, now has given me remote access so I can actually dial into the computers, at least in Moundsville so far. I can dial into the computers and see what's going on and fix things remotely. So that's at least that's a huge plus. And in a couple of weeks they'll add the other computers so I can actually get into the studio computers and look and see where the problems are and fix them instead of having to try and track somebody down like the other guys and put a ticket in and hopefully it gets done. I can fix these things, most of them myself, which will be so helpful. And that's at least a big step in the right direction. All right, if you need me, I'll be around. You know what to do. Otherwise, I'll talk to you in the morning. right. Yep, that's next. Well, I don't know which is next, playing or sausage gravy and biscuits. I don't have to say. What? Yeah, tough decisions to make. All right, thanks for your help, Biffy. I really appreciate all that you do. All right, talk to you tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.
Fires burning up and down the state of California right now. You're listening to ABC News.
Hiring can be challenging, but ZipRecruiter makes it fast and easy. We talked to COO Dylan Miskowitz, who needed to hire a director of coffee for his company, Cafe Altura.
We would look through lots of applications for people who were not qualified. It definitely felt like we were looking for a needle in a haystack.
So Dylan started using ZipRecruiter and found his perfect candidate in a few days. ZipRecruiter's powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free.
We were very impressed with how quickly we had quality candidates apply through ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter is a powerful tool in our hiring process.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.